Today we would like to present our mini research on parking lot signs at Ion Mall, Tanjung Barat. Our analysis focuses on the signs from three perspectives. The first perspective from pragmatics, and the second from semiotics, and the last from the linguistic landscape. We have selected five signs commonly found in the parking lot Ion Mall. The first is hati-hati penyeberang jalan, dilarang belok kanan, hati-hati kendaraan dari arah kiri, keluar or exit, and the last is ladies parking. So, we will begin our presentation. And the sample one is hati-hati penyeberang jalan. From the pragmatic perspective, these signs performs a directive speech act instructing drivers to focus and be careful when driving in the parking area. It also carries warning function, instructing drivers to be cautious near a parking area. The phrase hati-hati penyeberang jalan, translated as be careful pedestrians crossings, is a directive speech act asking for attention and careful behavior to ensure safety.
Now the semiotics explanations about hati-hati penyeberang jalan. The denotations explanations about these signs is to explicitly warns of pedestrians crossing the roads. The yellow diamond shape is a common symbol for warning. An image of an adult and child walking hand in hand on a crosswalk reinforces this meaning. The Indonesian text hati-hati penyeberang jalan translates to cautions pedestrians crossings. And the connotations explanations about these signs is the first one about, of course, safety. The sign primarily conveys a message of safety and cautions. It warns drivers to be careful of pedestrians, especially children who may be crossing the roads.
From a linguistic landscape perspective, the sign hati-hati penyeberang jalan combines text and visual for effective communication. The yellow diamond shape and pictogram of two people crossing are universally recognized as a pedestrian warning. The language used is Indonesian, reflecting the local context and target audience. As a top-down sign, it shows management or authorities' responsibility for safety in public spaces like parking lots.
And the sample 2 is dilarang belok kanan. From the pragmatics, these signs performs a directive speech act instructing the drivers not to turn right. The prohibition is not merely a suggestion, but an enforced rule. The drivers will get the directions from the security around the parking lot. From the pragmatic perspective, this directive aligns with the institutional goal of maintaining safety so that there is no traffic or there is no crash in the parking area.
At the literal meaning, the sign prohibits a right turn. The red circles with a diagonal line through, it's a universal symbol for prohibitions. And the arrow pointing right indicates the direction that is forbidden. The Indonesian text dilarang belok kanan explicitly states that a right turn is prohibited. And for the connotations explanations, the first one is about safety. The sign conveys a message of safety. It warns drivers to avoid potentially hazard right turn due to their limit visibility or a sharp curve. And the next one is about authority. Design also implies an authority figures, like enforcing rules and regulations for the public safety. And the last one is about control. Control design suggests a sense of control over driver behavior to preventing accidents.
Okay, the next session is the explanation based on the linguistic landscape perspective for design dilarang belok kanan. From a linguistic landscape perspective, design is a top-down regulatory tool designed by parking lot management of Aeon Mall Tanjung Barat to control traffic flow and ensure safety. Written in Indonesia, dilarang belok kanan, it reflects the local linguistic norms and target a primarily local audience.
And the sample 3 is hati-hati kendaraan dari arah kiri. From the pragmatic perspective, the sign functions as a directed speech which aims to instruct or guide the individuals to act carefully to avoid accident. The phrase hati-hati or be careful uses a polite yet urgent tone to emphasize the need for vigilance, especially in the often chaotic environment of parking lot, where vehicles frequently enter and exit from the various directions.
And then the next semiotic explanations about our research. The first is denotations. The literal meaning from these signs explicitly warns of vehicles approaching from the left. The yellow triangle with an exclamation mark is a common symbol for warning. The Indonesian text hati-hati kendaraan dari arah kiri translates to cautions vehicles from the left. The connotations explanations about this sign is about safety. This sign primarily conveys a message of safety and cautions. It warns drivers to be careful of vehicles approaching from the left, which may be hidden from view or difficult to anticipate. The second one is about awareness. The sign encourage drivers to be aware of their surroundings and to anticipate potential hazards. It emphasizes the importance of defensive driving and being prepared for unexpected situations. And the last one is about responsibility. This sign suggests that drivers have a responsibility to ensure their own safety and the safety of others by being cautious.
And the last sign is hati-hati kendaraan dari arah kiri. From a linguistic landscape perspective, the sign reflects the local context by being written in Indonesia, the primary language of the area. As a top-down sign, it's officially placed by the mall management Aeon Mall Tanjung Barat to maintain order and safety in the parking area. Its present highlights how public space use signage to communicate important information, guide behavior, and promote safety.
And the symbol 4 is keluar or exit. From the pragmatic perspective, this sign performs a directed speech act instructing the drivers to get a directions exit and directs people to turn left to reach it. The exit sign at the Aeon Mall parking lot serves to guide the drivers on how to leave from the parking area It provides clear instruction, ensuring people know the way out and place it in the relevant spot in fits the situation and helps avoid confusion.
And for the semiotic theories about keluar signs or an exit, the first one is the denotations. The literal meaning of these signs indicates an exit. The green background, white arrow, and the words keluar, an exit, all point to the direction of an exit. And the connotations, explanations about this. The first one is about safety. The sign primarily conveys a message of safety and security. It provides guidance for people to find a way out in the case of an emergency. And the second one is about hope. The sign can be seen as a symbol of hope and a way out of a potentially dangerous situations. And then the last one is about guidance. The sign provides clear directions and guidance, helping people navigate their surroundings and find their way to safety. And next one is about their myth. The first one is about escape and liberations. This sign can be seen as a manifestations of the societal myth of escape and liberations. It represents a break free from constraints and a find way out of difficult situations. And then the next one is about individual agency. This sign suggests that individuals have the agency to control their own fate and find a way out of a danger. It reinforces the idea of that individuals are responsible for their own safety and well-being. And the last one is about hope in challenging times. The sign can be interpreted as a symbol of hope, and it suggests that even in the face of adversity, there is always a way out and possibility for a better future.
So next is the explanation based on the linguistic landscape perspective. The sign exit is an example of top-down sign. It's created by management of the parking lot of Aeon Mall Tanjung Barat to maintain order and assist navigation. From a linguistic landscape perspective, the sign is designed to guide people in a clear and inclusive way. It uses Indonesian Keluar as the primary language and reflecting the local context, while the English translation exit ensures that international visitors or those who is unfamiliar with Indonesian also can understand it.
And the last is ladies parking. This sign performs a directed speech act instructing for the woman drivers to park in this area. From a pragmatic perspective, this sign communicates a specific function, reserving parking spaces for a woman as shown by the label ladies parking and the female figure icon. The speech act here is a directive instructing drivers that this area is only for female drivers, aiming to promote safety and convenience for women in the parking lot. The use of English indicates an effort to accommodate a broader audience, including international visitors.
Okay, and now for the semiotic theories about ladies parking sign. At the literal denotation meaning, the sign explicitly indicates parking spaces designated for women. The letter P is a common symbol for parking, and the image of a woman denotes the intended users. The text ladies parking reinforces the meaning from the sign. And the connotations explanations about design, it's about gender differentiations. Design implies a distinction between men and women and suggests that parking spaces should be allocated based on gender. And then about segregations, design can be seen as a form of segregations, separating women from men in a public space. And the last one is about protections and safety. Design might also interpret it as a measure to ensure that the safety and protection of women by providing them with designated parking spaces that are closer to the entrance. And for the main explanations about designs is about gender roles and stereotypes. Design reinforces traditional gender roles and stereotypes. It suggests that women are different from men and require a special treatment and accommodations based from gender. And then the second one is about paternalism and protectionism. Design reflects a protections attitude towards women, implying that they are fragile and require special care and attention. And the last one is about inequality and discriminations. Design can be seen as a manifestations of gender inequality and discriminations. It suggests that women are not treated as equals and are subject to different rules and regulations than men.
According to linguistic landscape perspective, design ladies parking reflects both local and global influence. Positioned prominently on the pillar with red and white colors, it uses clear symbol and a simple language to ensure visibility and understanding. The choices of English alongside the visual elements highlights a desire for inclusivity in a multicultural environment. This sign, as a part of a top-down sign created by a management of Aeon Mall Tanjung Barat, show how public spaces use language and visual to address social and cultural needs while ensuring smooth navigation and safety.
So, in the conclusion is, this research gave us a deeper appreciation of how language, visual, and placement come together to create effective communication. It also emphasized the importance of considering cultural and linguistic diversity in designing public signs. Thank you again for listening, and we are happy to answer any additional questions. Thank you for your attention. Let's I say, see you, goodbye.